Okay, so making the block itself. I've got Pritt stick, a good one, not a worn out one. A sharp knife, the smaller the better, this is too big really. I've got a pencil and a pair of scissors. Okay, that's your basic toolkit. I'm also using a chopping board because I don't want to start cutting into a kitchen table, so you need to do the same thing. Now then, if you take the basic starting point, I just started off with one piece of card, so I'm going to start like that now, and I'll add it to this one afterwards. So if you now take a piece of card like this, cut it into one of the basic shapes that came off your photo montages, and don't forget everything you're doing is based on photo montage, you can then start to add to it. So I'm going to look at sort of the way I can create some straight lines. So go into here, chop it there. I might rip that edge as well, and I'm going to put them on top of there. But to help me do that, I'm going to get the pencil. I'm going to start to design out this a bit first. So I want this to use this circle here and sort of basically do that. So now when I've got that there, I can take my Pritt stick. I'm going to run that down the back of it. Make sure there's a reasonable amount. You can see it's coming up too much there really, but it should stick down well. Now I'm going to use that straight edge there to guide that first piece. Wipe off all the excess glue. Same thing on the other side. Like that. So that I use the shape of the circle with the two lines that I've now got in through there. Now then, the piece that I cut out is also sort of interesting. So I think, all right, I wonder if I could use that in here somewhere. So I'm going to cut that one now like that. Cut it there perhaps. This would obviously depend on your photo montage. And I might put that there. Now, if I put that here, what's going to happen is the ink is going to roll onto here and go black. It's going to roll onto here and go black, but any cliffs are going to be a white line. And this is also going to be a rough line. So again, put that on top of there. Put plenty of glue on the back. And maybe line it up with that edge there like that. And maybe line it up with that edge there like that. So you can see now I'm beginning to get the drawing to meet the shapes. Okay, like that. Now then, what I'm going to need to do now is to start to draw my next stage. So I'm going to get some spare card and put the card, say, on there like that. And I want to create a shape that maybe is going to go like that, up to there, across to here, and down to here. So I can now know that this shape is the next shape to cut out, but I also know it wants to integrate with that shape there. So first of all, cut this shape out. Okay. Okay, so now I've cut this shape out here, and it sort of slides there. But what I want to do now is just I could just stick it on top, but I've lost everything underneath. So if I was just put that there, I could now find that shape on here. So to do that now, what I've got to do is to take my knife, gently cut halfway through that piece of card like that, and then peel that bit of card off without letting it slide off. Now mind you see how my fingers are always behind. Don't do that because you're going to start to take your lump out your finger. And I can peel it off there like that, so that now there's a line between those two things. So I'm going to, that shape behind will relate. So what I'm going to do now is to turn this over, put glue on the back, make sure there's plenty of glue, and I'm going to line it up on top of there like that. You can see the pencil line really helping me line everything up. But I want to start doing more with this. This edge isn't really doing enough yet. So I could do one of several things. I could just get a pair of scissors, like that, open it up, and on here, slide down the edge, and keep doing that. And what I'm now going to do is score in heavily, really push down hard, and that's going to create white lines on a black background. And I could cross that now by going across that edge there like that. So this is just going to be like in your photo montages, all these lines going everywhere, white lines on a black background. Okay, I can keep doing that as much as I want to build it up as white as I like. Okay, now then, get a little bit closer there so you can see what's going on. I still haven't got that shape through there, so probably the best I could do that one now would be to maybe cut it out. Try that. So I'm now going to turn that around. And I'm going to take that line there with my knife and mind my fingers. I'm going to cut it along that line like that. That was a bad cut. Do that again. Turn it around again. Notice how I'm turning my knife. My knife stays the same rather, and my card is turning around my knife. Fingers always away from the edge. Always, always, always facing away. So if it slips, it's not going to take a lump off my hand. Okay. Now if I take that off there, you can see I've now got that little shape coming off. I keep cutting it down again. I've gone right down through to the bottom. So now the edge that I had there on the drawing and coming down through here is now being enhanced by the use of that edge, the scored edge, but I've still got other ones in through here. So now I'm going to go to here. I'm going to cut a long thin strip. I'm going to measure that against there like that. So you can see the light